Hello, everyone. Please welcome Connie Delaney, FNINR President.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2020 FNINR NightinGala. I'm Connie Delaney, and I'm honored to serve as President of FNINR. I am, and we are, delighted to join in the full spirit of community, celebration, and commitment to nursing research. Tonight marks the 27th Gala of the Friends of the National Institute of Nursing Research. On behalf of the FNINR Board, we are grateful to celebrate the excellent work and discoveries being done by nurse researchers. Together, we lift up the daily impact of nursing science supported by NINR. And this is a particularly exciting year as we welcome the new NINR Director, Dr. Shannon Zank. Dr. Zank is the 2018 FNINR President's Award honoree, and she will speak to us later. Please join me in expressing our gratitude for the leadership and the commitment of the FNINR Board. This exceptional board fosters futures-focused strategies, creating the inaugural Advisory Committee on Philanthropy led by our inaugural chair, Dr. Frank Schaefer, fostering an empowered ambassadors and advocacy program, and building on the FNINR legacy of foresight, courage, and growth that empowers nursing research and its impact on health. Board of Directors of FNINR, thank you. And thank you for your time, your expertise, and your support to such an important mission. Tonight, we are building community through this virtual NightinGala. One way to strengthen this community building and celebration is to post pictures of your viewing party on social media. If you post a picture on your Twitter or LinkedIn account, please use hashtag FNINR. Tomorrow, we will draw 3 gift card winners from among those who posted about this annual celebration of nursing research. And I invite you to welcome FNINR board member and nominating committee chair, Carol Porter. Carol will introduce the new board members joining FNINR in 2021.
Connie, thank you for the introduction. I am pleased to announce that FNINR welcomes 8 new board members beginning January 1st, 2021, in addition to the 12 current members. The new members are Christy Dempsey, Chief Nursing Officer Emeritus Prescaney, Ronald Hickman, Ruth M. Anderson, Endowed Professor and Associate Dean for Research, Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing at Case Western Reserve University, Sheila Kaneshiro, Chief Nursing Officer, Memorial Care, Orange Coast Medical Center, Colleen Lenners, Director of Policy, AACN, Terry Murray, Professor Dean Emerita, Trudy Bush Valentine School of Nursing, St. Louis University, Associate Editor, Journal of Nursing Education, Adi Nyamathi, Founding Dean and Distinguished Professor, University of California, Irvine, Sue and Bill Gross School of Nursing, Joyce Sensmeyer, Senior Advisor, HIMSS, and Laura Wood, the Chief Nursing Officer of Boston Children's Hospital. Thank you to these individuals for their commitment to lead FNINR, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
And thank you, Carol, and thank you to the nominating committee. Tonight, we also honor the legacy of past presidents, the founding members, and the emeritus board members of FNINR. Please take a moment to recognize this outstanding group. To each one of you, your commitment to and support of the FNINR vision and mission continue to ensure a firm foundation upon which we build the future. We appreciate the support of sponsors of FNINR's work. Please join me in thanking our sponsors for 2020. The University of Minnesota School of Nursing, MD Anderson Cancer Center, the George Washington University School of Nursing, University of Tennessee Health Science Center College of Nursing, Mayo Clinic, University of Virginia School of Nursing, New York University Rory Myers College of Nursing, The Ohio State University College of Nursing, Merib College of Health and Human Service at Florida Gulf Coast University, and the University of Kentucky College of Nursing. Thank you for your unwavering commitment and your generosity. And we celebrate all of you who are attending tonight. Your presence applauds the momentous work being done by the nursing research community and NINR. Your commitment, especially in this International Year of the Nurse and Midwife, and in this year that highlighted nurse researchers' roles in big healthcare challenges, radiates confidence in the import and impact of nursing research. Several very special guests join us tonight, in addition to Dr. Zink. I invite you to join in welcoming Dr. Ada Sue Hinshaw, Dr. Patricia Grady, Rear Admiral Sylvia Trent Adams, retired, Rear Admiral Carol Romano, retired, and Rear Admiral Susan Ortega. Please take a moment to recognize these very special nurse leaders. The FNINR Be a Friend of the Friends program provides a pathway for you to recognize a colleague, or you yourself can become a friend. Each level of the Friends program comes with a lapel pin. As you wear it, others will know you support nursing research. We suggest you join the program and also support others through honoring them as a friend. Please join me in recognizing the Friends of the Friends who have joined. Their names are on the screen now. And tonight is all about celebration of research, and it is about supporting NINR. We invite you to consider supporting FNINR programming. You'll see a link in the chat and on the screen inviting you to become a friend of the Friends or honor a colleague. We appreciate your generous support. Again, we thank everyone for your support, and as we celebrate the importance and impact of nursing research, we continue to invite you to celebrate Friends of Friends. And we now invite you to welcome a video which showcases some of the nurse scientists who are on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic this year.
Hi, my name is Robin Austin, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Minnesota School of Nursing. Our COVID-19 research seeks to understand individual and community strengths, challenges, and needs within underserved communities, and to engage community voices and perspectives to interpret and respond to the data. Because multiple factors such as social and behavior determinants of health influence individual and community health, we recognize a need that data from the community is missing and is critical to augment clinical data and provide a more complete picture of individual and community health. Myself, along with my colleague, Dr. Karen Munson, are the developers of an app called My Strengths, My Health. We use My Strengths, My Health to capture a whole person perspective of health that includes environmental, psychosocial, and health-related behaviors during COVID-19. As a nurse scientist, it is our responsibility to be the voice of those we serve, our communities, as well as ourselves in our profession. Through our research, we are contributing to innovative science that will impact the health and well-being of our society. The role of the nurse scientist is now more than ever highlighting the valuable commitment and dedication to the overall health of the public.
Hi, I'm Scott Emery Moore, and I'm an assistant professor at the Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio.
And I'm Kelly Wieringa. I'm an assistant professor at Indiana University School of Nursing in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And we're the co-PIs of the Behavioral Outcomes During Social Distancing study.
The COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting public health interventions have had massive impacts on the economy and the day-to-day lives of Americans.
It is clear that not all Americans are experiencing this pandemic in the same way, with vulnerable and marginalized people bearing the brunt of disproportionately negative impacts.
In March 2020, we launched a nationwide longitudinal prospective internet-based study of adults in the U.S. with an intentional focus on understanding how individuals' perceptions and responses to the COVID-19 pandemic influence self-management behaviors and symptoms among those with increased risk for poor outcomes.
Not only will this work guide the development and targeting of psychosocial health interventions during and after the pandemic, it also has the potential to directly inform nursing care and practice for future global health crises.
We are proud to be part of the nursing community's response during the current pandemic.
Hi, I am Dr. Shanina Knighton, a KL2 scholar and clinical nurse scientist at Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. My program of research specifically targets infection prevention, self-management, and technology use among older adults in acute care settings. Infection prevention, I say. We all know that Florence Nightingale during the Crimean War had a top priority of making sure that patients and the environment stay clean. One of the things, even hundreds of years later, that we continue to neglect is the importance of patient hand hygiene education and guidelines in our healthcare system. That is what my research focuses on. So me understanding that patients needing the practical information in healthcare settings translated my expertise to the community during the time of COVID. I found myself being the right-hand expert to public officials, to different organizations, businesses, and people themselves, and also found myself in the middle of implementation and dissemination strategies for creating content. Through that, I created these infographics. These infographic sets, which comes on these rings, we've actually dispersed to over 100,000 households across the United States among individual effort as well as community efforts. I am going to deeply express that nurses have an important role when it comes to science, when it comes to practice, and knowing how to translate that to the people that we take care of. And so on the 200th birthday of Florence Nightingale, the year of the nurse, I just want to say, let's have a great gala. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julie McCullough-Nair.
And I'm Susan Burkhoff.
And during the early stages of COVID-19, we noticed through different forms of media, nurses were expressing their concerns and worries about being ill-prepared to care for COVID patients. As educators, we now know undergraduate nursing students receive limited didactic instruction about pandemics, particularly this magnitude. Together, we saw an opportunity to leverage research to address knowledge gaps as wide as the ocean about nurses' lived experiences during the early stages of a pandemic. We had nurses across the U.S. share their COVID-19 experiences with us.
The hope of this study is to advance nursing science, drive policy and practice changes, while informing future generations of nurses. Thank you for inviting us to tell our story. We look forward to sharing our results with you soon.
Thank you.
Wow. The power of the community and nurse researchers around the country as they discover best practices in the care of persons during the worst epidemic we've seen in the century is inspiring. Speaking of inspiring, I now have the pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Shannon Zank. Dr. Zank is the new director of NINR, and we are so excited to hear her vision for the future of NINR and the future of nursing research. Dr. Zank is a registered nurse. She is a leading nurse researcher. Dr. Zank's research focuses on social inequities and health with a goal of identifying effective multi-level approaches to improving health and eliminating health disparities. Her research portfolio includes foci on urban food environments, community health solutions, and veterans health. Dr. Zank, we welcome you.
Well, good evening. Thank you everyone for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. It's great to join so many friends and colleagues tonight, even if only virtually. Thank you to FNINR for hosting this wonderful event each year and for all your dedicated support over many years. We're so appreciative. It's truly an honor to lead NINR into the next phase of its history. I'm in the middle of my second month on the job, and while I already know many of you, I hope to have a chance to meet many more of you in the coming months. Tonight, for those who don't know me, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about me and my love of science, and some thoughts I have about today's health landscape and what it means for NINR and nursing science. My background is in nursing and public health. My predoctoral training at the University of Michigan was in psychosocial factors and mental health and illness. And my postdoctoral training focused on cancer control and population sciences. For the past 14 years, I pursued research, teaching, and service as a faculty member at the University of Illinois College of Nursing. My program of research at UIC focused on social inequities and health, with the goal of identifying effective multi-level strategies to improve health and eliminate racial and socioeconomic health disparities. Much of my work was on community environments, particularly the food environment, and energy balance-related behaviors and health conditions. Several experiences led to my interest in community environments. Early in my career as a home health nurse case manager, I was struck by the tremendous differences in the home and community environments of patients in my caseload. The stark contrast of patients' living conditions, both in terms of privilege and poverty, and the impact those living conditions had on their health became really evident to me. As a PhD student, I worked as a research assistant on studies in Detroit. Listening to residents describe the lack of healthy foods in their communities sparked my interest in food access specifically. These experiences as a home health nurse and in my studies played a big role in shaping my research trajectory. My colleagues and I conducted some of the pioneering research on food deserts, which increased national attention to the problem of inadequate access to healthy foods in low-income and Black neighborhoods. We've since produced evidence on the implications of these social inequities for individual dietary behaviors and related health conditions. Over the years, we've developed new approaches to improve measurement of community environments and environmental exposures. For example, we were early adopters of GPS tracking to study broader activity space environments beyond where people lived in relation to energy balance behaviors. Our recent work combines sensors with other real-time data collection approaches to identify how environmental and personal factors interact to influence energy balance behaviors. Now that I'm at NIH, I'm glad I'll have the chance to continue my research through the intramural program at the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparities. From my prior work, I see three key experiences that are bound to influence my role as NINR director. Through my many collaborations with scientists across multiple disciplines, I've gained a breadth of experience in and appreciation for different types of scientific approaches. This includes community-based participatory research, research using big data, qualitative research, and evaluation of policy interventions. Mentoring future scientists has been a valued part of my career, and I've learned much about promoting scientific excellence through my peer review service and leadership. I immensely enjoyed conducting research on issues and populations that I care about, and with colleagues from whom I've learned so much. And I enjoyed being a nursing faculty member. But when I began having conversations about the NINR director position, learning more, and thinking about NINR's scientific possibilities, my excitement grew and I became really interested in contributing to research in a different way. As we move forward, NINR has a strong legacy of accomplishments to build on. Many of the distinguished nurse leaders and nurse scientists here tonight played a major role in those achievements. NINR extramural and intramural researchers have advanced science in a number of key areas, such as patient symptoms, self-management, wellness, and end-of-life and palliative care, and helped train countless nurses, including myself through our K Award, to conduct rigorous research, including in emerging scientific areas and methodologies. Yet as we scan the current health and healthcare landscape, it's clear our work is not done. More than ever, we see the need for more and better knowledge, technology, healthcare, and public health services to improve the nation's health. We face pressing challenges affecting the public's health and persistent large health inequities for which we have an incomplete understanding and insufficient solutions. In the current landscape, racial and social injustices have gained broader recognition, including their wide-reaching health effects. Public demand is high for deep and enduring change so that everyone has a chance to live a long and healthy life. Nursing practice and policy solutions in this landscape are urgently needed. Life expectancy data illustrate the continuing inequities among groups. For example, life expectancy for Black men is 4.6 years shorter than for non-Hispanic white men. Compared with non-Hispanic white women, maternal mortality rates are about 3.2 times higher in Black women and 2.3 times higher in American Indian and Alaska Native women. And preterm birth weight rates are higher among Black women too, about 1.5 times higher. Hypertension-related mortality is yet another outcome for which persistent inequities are observed. COVID-19 is the latest health condition to appear on the landscape for which large inequities have emerged. In the US alone, 8.6 million cases have been recorded, with over 225,000 deaths. Sobering systematic differences by race ethnicity are observed in risks of infection, serious illness, and death. For example, relative to non-Hispanic whites, American Indian or Alaska Natives are 2.8 times more likely to be infected. Latinx persons are 4.6 times more likely to be hospitalized, and African Americans are 2.1 times more likely to die. The COVID-19 crisis has elucidated the powerful contributions of the conditions in which people are born, live, work, play, and age, and the structural forces that shape those conditions, or social determinants, to disease risk and disparities. We've seen, for example, how the risk of COVID-19 infection differs by occupation and the role of material resources such as having access to running water and transportation, as well as housing conditions. During the pandemic, a variety of social determinants have impacted people's ability to promote their health and manage other health conditions. For example, the pandemic has affected access to food and access to open space for physical activity and stress relief. Notably, these same social determinants influence pre-existing health conditions such as obesity that increase susceptibility to serious illness and complications. Importantly, COVID-19 will likely have long-lasting consequences for the public's health and health inequities, in part because of its powerful effects on social determinants. According to recent US data, 163,000 businesses have closed, 11 million jobs have been lost, and unemployment has climbed. Reports of serious financial problems are common. 10% of all adults reported that their household did not have enough to eat, and wealth gaps are widening. On almost all metrics, people and communities of color have been disproportionately affected. There's no doubt that these are challenging times. Our nursing practice colleagues have responded heroically to COVID-19 in acute and long-term care settings, clinics, and health departments, and in schools, work sites, and jails. Nurses have demonstrated ingenuity and changed fundamental aspects of the way they provide care. Nurses have done this often at great risk to themselves. We in nursing science must also respond to the current and impending health landscape. We need to be equally as willing to be bold in our thinking and innovative in our approach. We need to be just as ready to go in new directions and to take risks. COVID-19 illustrates that improving the public's health and eliminating inequities will require extending nursing science upstream to incorporate social determinants of health. The hallmark of nursing is our holistic perspective. Nurses have long understood that supporting people to promote and restore their health means addressing needs at multiple levels: physical, emotional, social, and economic, and creating favorable conditions, environments, and systems. This holistic perspective positions nursing science to bridge biomedical and population health research, biological and social determinants, and practice and policy solutions. Our responsibility is to increase our impact in solving the most pressing health problems and the most stubborn health inequities by collaboratively taking nursing science to new levels. One direction is to draw on our holistic perspective and push the scientific boundaries of multi-level integration from the molecular to the macro. Science on multi-level integration includes studying how factors at multiple levels interact to affect health and testing multi-level interventions. These levels can extend from molecules at the biological level up to social determinants and macro level factors. To maximize the impact of our scientific breakthroughs, it will also be important for us to prioritize translation in our science. Prioritizing translation might mean focusing on practice and policy relevant questions from the start and advancing the science of translation, which identifies how to effectively move scientific breakthroughs into practice and policy. There's much to consider, such as where can we in nursing science have the biggest impact? What are the key scientific opportunities in multi-level integration? Given that advancing health equity is a top priority for NINR, how can we eliminate systematic health gaps? Are there particular inequities that we should focus on? What are the key scientific gaps in translating our discoveries into nursing practice and policy? What kinds of training do we need to propel scientific integration of upstream and downstream factors and their translation? Strategic planning at NINR fortuitously coincides with this pivotal time in nursing science. NINR's 5-year strategic plan is set to expire in late 2021, and we'll release a new plan shortly thereafter. This will be a major focus at NINR over the next year, and we're all very excited to see where the planning process takes us. There are several key principles that will guide this process. So think boldly, think differently. Think about the end to the beginning, or plan for translation. Demonstrate impact, embrace change and opportunity, and be role models to the next generation. We certainly hope that everyone will be interested in contributing to the new strategic plan. I can't emphasize that last point enough. At every stage of the process, we want to make sure the nursing community is involved. We want your feedback and we want your ideas. Here's some of what we already have started and what we're planning for the next year. We recently conducted a feedback campaign, Tell Us What Nursing Research Means to You. We formed a strategic planning working group under our National Advisory Council. We're planning webinars and workshops on scientific topics. There'll be multiple opportunities for public comment, and we're currently developing a dedicated section of our website for the strategic planning process. For the feedback campaign that concluded in August on what nursing research means to you, we received 380 responses. We've done an initial scan, and a few themes have emerged as shown on this slide. We thank everyone who took the time to contribute. These are just some of the data that will feed into the strategic planning process. As I mentioned, we recently introduced a section on our website that will be updated regularly with new information about the strategic planning process. The content's a little sparse at this time, but please check back frequently. Importantly, there's a dedicated email address on that site, which is also shown on this slide, for feedback. Please feel free to send your thoughts to this address at any time. So thanks again for the chance to talk with you tonight. I look forward to many conversations in the months and years ahead and to working together to advance groundbreaking nursing research and its impact. Thanks again.
Dr. Zink, again, congratulations on your appointment. We welcome working with you, lifting up NINR and celebrating the contributions of nurse scientists. We are deeply grateful for your presence tonight. Together, we navigate the challenges of 2020, and we boldly and confidently look ahead to 2021 and beyond. In honor of your recent appointment, the FNINR recognizes you as an honorary friend of the Friends. Your name will now be on the website, and we know that you will wear the Friends of the Friends special pin to celebrate the community of nurse researchers. Again, thank you. And again, to all of you, do consider becoming a friend of the Friends. As we invite the bold future of nursing research, again, we honor nurse scientists in this year 2020, the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. Please reflect and celebrate on all of our special guests who wanted to thank you tonight, the full nursing community. Please welcome watching this video.
This is a special, fun evening, an opportunity to celebrate nursing science and nursing research with all of our colleagues. And thank you to the FNINR for being so creative as to make this virtual NightinGala occur. The Friends Group for NINR has been very important over the years. Their very mission since 1993 has been to illustrate boldly the nursing science and nursing research that is being produced by our profession, so that people can understand how it guides professional practice and how it shapes health policy. The Ambassador Group certainly has added to that mission because they are important in educating our congressional people. That's a very important group in order to keep the Institute itself healthy, but also to help the public understand what nursing research and nursing science does for the outcomes of individuals and families and communities. Tonight, we're celebrating several things. First is, of course, the advancement in the growth and the richness of the science itself. Second is, of course, that we have new nurse scientists who have joined us from their doctoral and postdoctoral programs, and we welcome them. And thirdly, there are many awards being given tonight. And of course, I'm most excited about the science behind the Ada Sue Henshaw Award. And lastly, a personal celebration and a word of congratulations to our new outstanding director for the National Institute for Nursing Research, Dr. Shannon Zink. Congratulations, Shannon.
On behalf of the American Nurses Credentialing Center and in the Year of the Nurse and Midwife, I am very pleased to be able to highlight the importance of nursing research for the profession and for all of the people that nurses serve every day. My name is Kathy Chappell, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Accreditation, Certification, Measurement, and the Institute for Credentialing Research and Quality Management at ANCC. ANCC has a long and proud nursing research history. ANCC's own credentialing programs are built on an evidence base that has been generated over many years by visionary nursing researchers. The ANCC Magnet Recognition Program, for example, originated from a landmark nursing research study conducted by researchers who wanted to better understand how some hospitals were able to attract and retain nurses in the midst of a nursing shortage. And today, more than 500 hospitals around the world have achieved this prestigious designation. The ANCC Pathway to Excellence standards reflect research on the characteristics of a positive practice environment and ANCC's accreditation program standards reflect research on continuing education and interprofessional continuing education, and on nurses transitioning into or between practice settings. Most recently, ANCC commissioned an independent research study exploring how certification is conceptualized and operationalized in North America. This scoping review resulted in a definition of certification for research purposes and a new administrative home for certification research with Sigma Theta Tau International. ANCC continues to fund independent research studies, both large and small, and has recently collaborated with other professional colleagues to fund interprofessional research. ANCC's research efforts are supported by an esteemed research council, many of whom are likely attending this virtual gala. I'm looking forward to all the presentations and wish you all the best from ANCC.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ernest Grant, President of the American Nurses Association. Why is nursing research so important? Well, for one, nursing research is critical to the practice of professional nursing. Nursing research allows nurses the opportunity to generate new knowledge that advance their clinical expertise, their personal knowledge, and affect change that improves nursing care. Optimal nursing care is dependent upon the latest research which drives evidence-based practice. Practice that has shown to be effective through research allows nurses to better advocate for patients and provide the best possible care. Another reason that nursing research is so important is that it promotes lifelong professional development of the discipline of nursing and supports the fact that nursing is a professional discipline. Having our own body of research, our own body of knowledge, and the ability to apply that knowledge and skills allows nursing to be defined as a profession.
Hi, friends. I'm Pam Cipriano, First Vice President of the International Council of Nurses and Dean and Sadie Heath Cabanis Professor of Nursing at the University of Virginia. I'm happy to be celebrating FNINR with you tonight, as well as the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife. We share so many issues around the globe for improving not only the nursing profession, but the lives of individuals. We work together to achieve the 2030 goals of the United Nations and World Health Organization of Health for All. The impact of nurse scientists on global health could not be more important, as we've seen with the pandemic, where diseases cross borders without any controls. So this is an important time for us to celebrate and work together to be able to continue to support funding for nursing research. Good luck to all.
And to each one of our guests that lifted up the part of nursing research in the nursing community, we also thank you for your leadership and your courage to be bold. We share gratitude to our Discovery sponsor, the University of Minnesota, for this video presentation and celebration of nursing science in the year of the nurse and midwife. The FNINR ambassadors work every day to lift up the important work being done by NINR, and they support and work for a strong budget by reaching out to members of Congress. Please welcome our FNINR board member and advocacy committee chair, Sandra Weiss. Sandra will provide an update on the FNINR ambassadors and advocacy program.
Thanks, Connie. The advocacy work of FNINR is one of the most important aspects of our mission. We work with Congress, other appointed and elected officials, health organizations, and the public to educate them about advances made through nursing research that's funded by NINR and how it benefits patients, families, and communities. As part of this effort, we have a vibrant group of ambassadors who've been selected to advance awareness of NINR's critical research agenda. These exceptional individuals, many of whom are nurse scientists, educate congressional leaders on Capitol Hill regarding the high-impact research resulting from both intramural and extramurally funded initiatives at NINR. Our goal is to increase funding for NINR that will support both continued training of nurse scientists and new scientific breakthroughs from nursing research. Our ambassadors program has grown to over 30 individuals this year and will welcome a new cohort of ambassadors in January. Now, none of our efforts are in isolation. We work closely at the national level with the Nursing Community Coalition on funding for NIH overall and NINR specifically. As a gold member of that organization, we join forces with organizations across the country to support legislation and funding appropriations that advance nursing research. Although Congress is still working on their budget, we're advocating for at least $182 million for NINR in fiscal year 2021. So please remember that all of the wonderful contributions you make to FNINR are a vital investment in the capacity and potential of the National Institute of Nursing Research. Thanks so very much for your ongoing support.
Sandra, we thank you for your leadership and your powerful collaboration. And we thank each ambassador. And now, on to the awards. Tonight, we recognize those nurse scientists who are changing the world. Please welcome FNINR board member and chair of the awards committee, Linda Norman. Linda, we welcome your leadership and the diligence of the awards committee, please.
Thank you, Connie. Let me thank the FNINR Awards Committee for all their deliberations. Without them, the awards would not be possible. Their names are on the screen, and join me in thanking them for their contributions. Thank you. And now it's my sincere honor to help present our organization's award to such a group of outstanding nurse scientists. It is my pleasure to announce the 2020 Faye Abdella Leadership Award. This year's award is Dr. Cheryl Robertson. Dr. Robertson is a professor at the School of Nursing, University of Minnesota. She has sought to better understand the experiences of refugee women and families, the history of trauma exposure, the sequela of forced displacement, and strategies women use to support their family's health. Dr. Robertson is also currently leading a multidisciplinary team of university scientists and young African scholars to study the climate-driven conflict and displacement and health at the human-animal environment intersection in the Horn of Africa arid lands. Please congratulate Cheryl as she accepts her award.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Robertson. I'm a public health nurse and I'm a professor at the School of Nursing at the University of Minnesota. I am so incredibly grateful for this award. What a gift. It's so nice. And I'm grateful for the support I receive at the school, for my wonderful colleagues across the school and across the globe, particularly in Central and East Africa, and for leaders in refugee communities here in the Twin Cities. It really takes a number of people to put together this kind of work, and I've been very lucky. Thanks again.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to announce the 2020 Faye Abdella Leadership Award. This year's, I'm sorry, I lost my place in my script. So now we're going to do the Ada Sue Henshaw Award. Is the preeminent award given by FNINR to acknowledge a substantive and sustained program of science. This year, we recognize 2 nurse researchers who embodied the true spirit of the award. The committee could not only accept one, there had to be two because of the outstanding contribution. The first is Dr. Bernadette Melnick. Dr. Melnick is the Dean and Professor, College of Nursing, Ohio State University. She is a seasoned pediatric nurse practitioner, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, educator, researcher, and author. She has had an extraordinary impact on the science and discipline of nursing. She pioneered and has led the evidence-based practice movement in nursing for the past 2 decades, teaching nurses and interprofessional clinicians how to translate research findings more rapidly into practice and to create cultures to sustain evidence-based practice. She is one of the few nurses in the U.S. to have served a 4-year term on the United States Preventative Service Task Force. Please congratulate Dr. Melnick as she accepts her award.
Thanks to FNINR for this very special award in honor of Ada Sue, who I've been privileged to know over the years. Thanks also to NINR for funding my work, as well as my wonderful husband, John, my 3 daughters, and my Ohio State family, who have been the wind beneath my wings. People often ask me, what's key for success? I always respond with 3 words: the ability to dream, discover, and deliver. Nothing happens unless first a dream. We must keep our dreams bigger than our fears because they give us the energy and passion to make it through all of our rejections. Then we must discover that it's all about risk-taking and generating evidence to improve people's lives. Yet once generated, we need to speed the translation of our findings into practice to improve outcomes. Lastly, we must persist through all of our character builders. Remember, success is going from one failure to the next with enthusiasm. With every no, keep believing you are one step closer to a yes, and never, ever give up. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Dr. Melnick. I would also like to congratulate Dr. Christine Masowski, winner of the 2020 Ada Sue Henshaw Award. Dr. Masowski, Professor, School of Nursing, University of California, San Francisco, is a nationally and internationally recognized expert in pain and symptom management, including a focus on the identification of phenotypic and genotypic characteristics that place patients at risk for the development of the most deleterious cancer-related symptoms. Her seminal work in describing symptom clusters in patients undergoing chemotherapy treatment for breast, lung, gastrointestinal, or gynecologic cancers has revolutionized the understanding of inter-individual variability in patients' symptom experiences. Throughout her extensive contributions as a nurse scientist, mentor, teacher, scholar, and leader, Dr. Masowski has maintained a central passionate goal to alleviate the suffering of people and their family members with and survivors of cancer. Please congratulate Dr. Masowski as she accepts her award.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by saying how grateful I am to be the recipient of this research award that bears the name of Dr. Ada Sue Henshaw. It is truly a capstone of my research career. I've been asked to provide some comments about what has contributed to my success. In doing that, I'd like to acknowledge that no one stands in a place of honor by themselves, And I'd like to use some of my time to thank individuals who have contributed to the success of my research career. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Marilyn Hammer and Mary Lynn Dodd for nominating me for this award. Their colleagueship has been invaluable to me. I believe that to have a successful career, you need to be passionate about your area of inquiry. And I'd like to thank my parents, both of whom suffered from a very high symptom burden, for having given me the passion to pursue my career. One cannot accomplish the major activities in a research career without a highly effective research team. And I have been blessed over the course of my career to have numerous staff who have worked with me to achieve our goals of understanding the symptoms of people with cancer. A critical aspect of any research career is extraordinary mentorship, and I have been blessed by wonderful mentors throughout my academic career. I'd like to acknowledge three of those right now: Dr. Mary Lynn Dodd, Dr. Ada J. Cox, and Dr. John Levine. They taught me the value of valuing the unexpected findings in science and how that can lead to new discoveries. And finally, and certainly not last but not least, I would like to thank all of the clinical staff at our research sites who opened their clinical practices to us over the years. Without them, we could not have been able to recruit patients. And finally, I owe a deep debt of gratitude to all the patients and family caregivers who have participated in our research studies. I would encourage all of you to listen very, very carefully to clinicians and patients, because they often give us the best research questions. I wish all of you good health during this COVID epidemic. And again, I cannot put into words how grateful I feel to be receiving this award. Good evening. Good evening.
Congratulations again, Dr. Miskowski. The next award is the Welch-Werner PathPaver Award, which is given to a mid to late career nurse scientist who has achieved one or more breakthroughs in theory development, research methods, instruments, or subject matter that has paved the way for other scientists and who has influenced and mentored the next generation of nurse researchers. The recipient of the 2020 Welch-Werner PathPaver Award is Rebecca Schnall. Dr. Schnall, Assistant Dean and Professor, School of Nursing, Columbia University, is a nurse scientist and informatician who has committed to mentoring the next generation of nurse scientists. She leads an independent research program focused on the understanding of information needs of vulnerable patient populations and developing informatics tools to promote health and prevent disease. Dr. Schnall's work reduces health disparities for persons from underserved communities, and more specifically, those living with and the risk of HIV. Her research is characterized by a solid theoretical foundation and rigorous and innovative methods. Please congratulate Dr. Schnall as she accepts her award.
I'm so pleased to accept the Welch-Werner PathPaver Award from FNINR. I cannot think of a more critical time in our history when the advancement of nursing science was more relevant. FNINR's mission is vital to the health and well-being of the public. This is evident from the potential for the advances made through nursing research, which can benefit patients, families, and the healthcare system. My work has focused on advancing the field of consumer informatics and targets understanding the health information needs of individuals to improve access to easy-to-use health-related information as a strategy for health promotion, improving care quality, and reducing health disparities. My program of research has systematically built evidence supporting the use of effective health information tools to positively impact the health and quality of life of low-income, high-risk populations while focusing on dedicated mentoring to launch the next generation of nurse scientists, critical to sustaining academic nursing at this time. I cannot begin to express enough gratitude to the many people who have supported and mentored me.
First, I want to thank Bobby Berkowitz, my former dean, for believing in my potential and supporting me as I began my research journey at Columbia Nursing. Thank you to Lorraine Frazier, my current dean, for your support and encouragement. Thank you to Drs. Pat Stone and Shirley Moore for nominating me for this award. And thank you to Dr. Sue Bakken, who put the informatics bug into my head. Finally, I want to thank Mary Dickey Lindsay, who endowed my professorship that I hold at Columbia Nursing. This award is very timely because Mary passed away a few weeks ago on October 4th, a month shy of her 101st birthday. I share this award with her. Mary was the path paver for my accomplishments for Columbia Nursing and for future generations of nursing students whose nursing careers will be sustained by her strategic thinking and enthusiasm. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Dr. Schnall. It is now my honor to present the FNINR Protege Award given this year to an evolving nurse scientist who shows great promise in advancing science and are within the first 6 years of completing either their PhD or their postdoctoral study. The 2020 award, Protege Award, goes to J. Nicholas Dion Odom. J. Nicholas Dion Odom, Assistant Professor, School of Nursing, University of Alabama at Birmingham, is a pioneering nurse scientist, innovator, and thought leader in the area of early palliative care support for family caregivers of persons with advanced cancer and heart failure living in underserved southern United States. Dr. Dion Odom's research funding totaled over $5.1 million from National Institute for Nursing Research, the National Cancer Institute, the National Palliative Care Research Center, Sigma Theta Tau, the American Association of Critical Care Nursing, and the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation. Please congratulate Dr. Dion Odom as he accepts this award.
I couldn't be more honored to receive the Protege Award this year from the Friends of the National Institute of Nursing Research. And I'm so grateful to NINR for all the support they've given to me over the years. I owe special thanks to Marie Bakaitis, my mentor for many years, and to my family, including most especially my live-in parents-in-law, Bob Dion, who died this year, and his wife, Janine, and my wife, Jody. I absolutely would not be here without their support. I thank all my other mentors and colleagues, especially those at UAB and the UAB School of Nursing, especially our Dean, Dr. Doreen Harper, who has been an exemplary leader during the crises of this year. To my friends, colleagues, and mentors beyond, you know who you are. I appreciate you. For me, this Protege Award is a recognition that calls for a reflection on the moment and a call to action. 2020 has been a year of profound tragedy and hardship for all of us. And it is a year that has made it impossible to deny that we have deeply ingrained structures of sexism and racism in our policies and institutions, and a rampant distrust of the scientific community. To all proteges, nurses, and nurse scientists out there listening to this, let's change that. Let's strive to be not just non-racist or non-sexist, but rather anti-racist and anti-sexist. Together, let's forge more just systems of health. Let's be a scientific community that demonstrates our integrity and projects our voice as we navigate these challenging times with resolve and resilience. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Dr. Dion Odom. Last but not least, I have the honor of awarding the 2020 President's Award. This year, the President's Award is given by FNINR to honor academia and clinical practice collaborative research and is aimed at research that engages academia and clinical practice partners and bridges both contexts for the application of nursing and healthcare research. The 2020 recipient is Dr. Margaret Quinn Rosenzweig, Professor, School of Nursing of the University of Pittsburgh. Margaret, or Peggy Rosenzweig, is a Distinguished Service Professor at the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing and nurse practitioner at the McGee Women's Cancer Center. Dr. Rosenzweig offers contributions to nursing and healthcare through practice, teaching, and research. As an oncology nurse practitioner and researcher for the past 3 decades, Dr. Rosenzweig provides national vision and leadership in training the next generation of oncology nurse practitioners. She brings her clinical expertise to her program of cancer treatment, disparity research, and in turn, utilizes research findings to ensure equitable treatment for all patients. As the Associate Director for Catchment Area Research at the Hillman Cancer Center, Dr. Rosenzweig works with researchers across all disciplines to direct research efforts towards identified, commonly occurring cancer burdens. Please congratulate Dr. Rosenzweig as she accepts her award.
To Dr. Zhang, Delaney, and to the Friends of the NINR Board of Directors and guests, this year's President's Award is to recognize health-promoting research resulting from academic, clinical, and community collaborations. I am honored to be recognized. First and foremost, I am incredibly grateful for the gift of the foundational love and support from my late parents, my husband, children, siblings, and wonderful friends. In my work, I am supported and encouraged daily through multiple organizations and individuals. The University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing, led by Dean Jackie Dunbar Jacobs, and my kind, smart, and generous colleagues, is a wonderful professional home. Within this school, I am encouraged to find my voice and passion as a researcher, clinician, teacher, and advocate. I thank them for their support and guidance. I want to recognize colleagues at the McGee and Hillman Cancer Centers, my wonderful research staff, outreach teams, and community colleagues who do the hard work every day while remaining steadfast in their commitment to patients, families, and communities. I have the great privilege of working with and for women in the cancer centers and in the Pittsburgh community who struggle, not only with the stress of often advanced cancers, but also with racism, chronic poverty, environmental injustice, and with the COVID crisis, both fear and loneliness. I thank them for sharing their stories, their challenges and successes, and I remain committed to meaningfully addressing racial and economic inequalities in our care delivery systems and within our communities. I am truly grateful to be able to do this work, to collaborate, and to be inspired by these wonderful people. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Dr. Rosenzweig. Please join me in recognizing all of our award recipients. And now back to FNINR President Connie Delaney.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you to the awards committee. We thank you for your outstanding discernment and your unwaveringly lifting up the exquisite science of nursing research and its impact on the daily lives of individuals, families, communities, and the planet. And again, a hearty congratulations to all awardees. Together, we will continue to lift up nursing research, and we will honor the integrity of science-based care in this International Year of the Nurse and Midwife and beyond. To each attendee tonight, thank you. Thank you for being present to honor these awardees, to honor our past, and have the courage and boldness to welcome the future. Thank you for appreciating and lifting up the amazing impact of nurse researchers who are transforming the healthcare of the nation. And we celebrate your bold commitment to advance nursing science. We look forward to seeing you next year. We will see you on Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. Wishing you a good night and be safe.